See you in Exeter?
Look at that. What are you looking at?
Event page for his Man of the Year.
Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, welcome. We're live.
We're doing it live.
How's it going, guys? Let's hope we get this right today because, I don't know, I guess third time's a charm.
Past couple of weeks have been
We've been fucking
stretch.
terrible at podcasting lately.
Well, I mean,
Well, technically we podcasted, but
yeah. I mean, I might have
Nothing.
broke the curse of the third thing tonight when I broke the chair first
maybe.
thing.
Maybe
wanna-
that was the problem.
get the name out there quick so we don't forget it.
Vladislav Podkowinski,
Podkolinsky. That's
Well-
what we're talking about today. But
Pol-
first, we got to do openings.
Polish artist. Okay. I'm Josh Ruff at joshruff.com on all the things, www.joshruff.com. We're here at Renaissance Studios at RS Tattoo NY on Instagram.
Hi, everyone. Reggie Inks here, Reggie Cavalier. You can find me at RS Tattoo NY also. I'm a tattoo artist, and I draw shit.
Zach Pedley, one of the owners at the North Brewery. Check us out on social media. Also, Chomp88. That's TikTok. Kind of a big deal over there. Just uploaded my Diablo 3 Witch Doctor Chicken Run. Please go check that out. Also, on Instagram, I like my beers ratchet. So
I'm Christina Masler. Find me at Christina_Masler on Instagram, Christina Masler on Facebook, and here in real life.
Does anyone else play video games that star chickens?
No.
Okay.
BamBurnsThings.com. Bam Masler, everybody.
Bam Masler!
I'm on TikTok too.
Oh, God.
I just saw a nice porn, what do you call that? Art porn glaze that you do. You're pouring that right on.
Varnish
TikTok.
porn.
Varnish
Yeah.
porn. That was
Art porn glaze.
art porn glaze.
I mean, that's basically what
I
it
was
is.
like, you saw me glazing a painting?
So this week's episode, we're talking about good old pod.
Well, we're back up for a second.
We
So
were-
what's this video game thing? I feel like I need to know more. What?
About my D3 run?
Yeah, your chicken.
This is some really nerdy shit.
Well, I'll show you after. If you're really interested, I have an insane
Check me out
run.
on TikTok.
Zach's
Well, I
a
was
big deal on Diablo 3 is all he's
I was just
saying.
expecting also the Wotan story or
Oh,
whatever.
well, yeah. Well, it's not like, well, it's not as it is a massive accomplishment. Wotan, both, they're just separate things.
Yeah, starring Mel Gibson, Chicken Run.
He was talking about a video game the one day.
Mel
He
Gibson
tells
wasn't
me,
there.
and he's standing there and he's telling me the details of it. And his dad walks past and he's like, "Hey, Dad, guess what I did?" And then he tells him, and his dad looks at me and goes, "I'm embarrassed that you're my son." Just walks out of the room.
Do you know how much skill and time it takes to build a character, custom build like that?
Yeah.
All right.
Diablo 3 or any one of those games where you got to grind for like 30 fucking hours at least.
Just to get one particular fucking item, a
Yeah.
belt. I need this belt. It only drops once every
It's hard work,
1,000
man.
runs.
We should do an episode where we talk about.
We
The
could
video
do
game
Diablo.
art.
We could do Diablo.
Hey, we
3.
did. We did a video game cover art episode a while ago.
Wish I was a part of that one.
Well, we can do another
revisit
one.
That. It's
Yeah,
not
we
like
can
we
revisit
covered
it, yeah.
every video game. We could do that for a Shotgun Smart episode.
Oh, yeah.
Pull up some of the worst video game covers of all
Also-
time.
I thought we covered every single video game.
Also, we need
780 new U.S. releases from the Nintendo alone. Got them.
we we need to cover. We need to still do the bad logo designs. I want to touch on that too.
Okay.
All right. So this week we got good old
Władysław Podkowinski.
Władysław. What do we know about him? Let's pull him up. Sorry, I have notes on my phone here.
I think
we
I
go.
can pull up his Wikipedia
Here we go.
page.
I got it already.
Okay.
He was born in Warsaw.
He was born.
He was born in
Wait,
Warsaw.
When?
When?
Not really given a date. Early.
Oh, he was one of the ones that were like, he survived.
He survived. It was some like mid 1800s.
He survived.
We do know.
So this is well before the occupation of Poland by Nazi Germany.
Yeah, we do know he studied fine art between 1880 and 1884. After graduating, he began to contribute many of the leading art journals in Warsaw at the time in 1885.
I love how you're doing research live on the pod.
Well, I wanted to take notes. Bam did it
screenshot it
last
on my
week.
phone.
Bam did it last week. So we're gonna look at some.
I
of
always
this-
pre-research.
right. I have it. I shot a text to myself about the research I did. Because I wanted to step up my game.
Cool.
Okay, so let's
Sorry to
break the
cramp
ice
your
here.
style.
Let's break the ice here and let's pull up one of his works here. Okay.
That's a painting.
Right.
It's cool.
Did a lot of watercolors, did a lot of charcoal. He has a controversial thing that happened to him because he has a really famous piece we're going to talk about at the end. It's well known. I would like to get your take on that. So let's just talk about this piece. What do you think? What you like it? Talent? Do you see talent here?
There's some good stuff going on for sure.
Yeah. Good perspective.
Atmospheric perspective.
Yeah.
With
What-
the bigger
Color
buildings
palettes
fade
a little
away.
Curving
Impressionistic.
perspective,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
which is definitely a lot harder than a
curvilinear.
Well, now why is this okay? But like, Mr. Coons is not okay.
Jeff Koons.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
No.
You're comparing like a actual painter to a
Yes.
fucking
Yes.
A salesman.
salesman. That's what he
That's
is.
exactly
Right.
it.
That's what most
Okay.
modern artists are. Just
Wrong.
like
Wrong.
salesmen.
But did you guys talk when you talked about him?
He's like a snake oil salesman.
When you guys
Yeah.
when you
Okay.
guys talked about that guy, didn't he have like a really weird
We haven't yet.
sex book that he released? It was
No.
like photos of him.
No, it's not
What?
Jeff Koons.
That was not him.
No. We haven't done an episode on
Okay.
Jeff Koons yet.
All right.
My hatred is still building for that man.
All right. So why? Because this is still messy. Is it just because it actually has shapes that you're like, all right, I'm cool with this?
It's because this person actually did it.
yeah.
Okay, fair
Unlike
enough.
Jeff Koons.
So I'm
Yeah.
using the wrong artist. It's not Jeff Koons.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jeff
It's not.
Koons
It's not him.
basically pays other people minimum wage to do stuff, and then he puts his name on it.
Okay, yeah, not the guy I'm thinking of. Somebody else from the '80s and '90s who did a lot of
let's say
weird ass shit.
Thomas Kincaid. We've done
Thomas Kincaid.
We've done a Thomas Kincaid episode.
Yeah.
Do you think that this guy could be, if he was born like where Thomas Kincaid was, he would have he'd be way more famous than what he was? Because there's not much information on this guy, but he does have one of these pieces that's like worth a lot, and that probably goes with the story that we're going to tell about it, about his.
Well, I don't know much about this guy, so I can't draw a
Right.
comparison.
Basically,
just yet.
he's
I
kind of a
pre-
boring guy too.
I prefer this over Thomas Kincaid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kincaid basically he found his niche and then ignored color theory and started phoning it in.
Yeah, I
once
remember
he
one of the
started
quotes
making
about
money.
him that somebody said about his work was it's all paintings of like nature and stuff, but it's like it's painted by someone who probably never went outside.
Yeah,
okay.
Whereas this looks straight.
plein air.
Like he was on a balcony here.
Right.
Yeah.
He was sitting on the roof or wherever
Yeah.
Okay.
actually painting it. The colors are correct. The shading.
This reminds me of James Gurney a lot, like
Yeah.
the little
Ooh,
sketches
nice.
that James
Yeah,
Gurney
yeah, yeah.
does.
You're right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. You can go to the next one while I'm looking up more information. Hey, at least I did some research this time. So, next piece, this is little girl watercolor. I think that's even what it's titled as well.
Little girl in watercolor.
A watercolor paint, yeah. What do we think about this?
I like it.
So,
Nice impressionistic portrait.
his big thing is he hasn't found anybody to buy any of his pieces.
while he's alive.
While he's alive, but his pieces go up in a lot of museums. Just no one is buying his pieces, and right now,
It's in the museums at the time or now?
at the time,
Okay.
as well,
So he was well known.
he was well known. It was a well known painter in Warsaw, and a lot of people. This frustrated him. Like, why weren't people buying his pieces?
Well, how are the museums getting it then?
Let me pull up
Because
this.
typically museums are either purchasing it or like acquiring it as gifts from people who have purchased it.
So in 1984, it was featured in a Warsaw art exhibition and violently criticized. Well, not this. The other piece was violently criticized, but so he definitely had his stuff up in places. So it was eating him alive, though, that other people like where he was profoundly influenced by impressionist painters, including Claude Monet.
Yeah, I definitely see the resemblance between them. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess with the last one, the only thing I would say is it's a street scene.
a
Like
street scene.
There's nothing different from other artists of the time than what he's doing.
right.
It doesn't stand out.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't really stand. I mean, it's
good.
Technically good. I enjoy it.
It's not messy for you guys.
It's not.
But for instance, like Degas, he painted ballerinas, and people now are like, I mean, they're good, but back then it's because ballerinas were sex workers.
Oh.
So he was in the seedy underbelly.
You think he got some
sure.
shred?
Ballerinas used to be.
Oh, he was a
sex
dick to them. He would make them pose for hours until he heard their bones crack because he didn't want them to move, and he called them his little monkeys.
Cool
He was an
guy.
asshole.
We're gonna have to talk about him. That's
Yeah.
good.
Well, it's like the
As
qual-
soon as you said degrading sex workers, I just started to run by scenes of like American Psycho. I was like,
Yeah.
I shouldn't say that out loud right now.
No, I mean I like this style. I like
blurry.
the loose brush strokiness of it. You know, like the proportions are all great. Like, dude obviously knows what he's doing. Knows how to paint. Colors are good.
But it's fascinating to me with you guys though, with like, where's your line? At what point does it become too messy? You're like, I can't fucking do this.
When it's no longer
there's
of
enough
something.
information here. I guess it's like the amount of information that's conveyed through brushstrokes for me.
Okay.
I guess that would be it.
All right.
Once it's no longer specifically of something, it's kind of
Yeah,
What am I looking at?
too abstract where fucking somebody took a shit on a canvas and smeared it around.
Like if you zoomed in and only showed that green back of her couch,
Right.
what the fuck am I looking
Yeah, I
at?
agree with
Yeah.
that. I agree.
You know, and that's to me most abstract art.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can even tell there's like flowers on the edge of the sofa.
Yeah.
And her hat too.
But,
Oh yeah,
like,
you can
I-
tell flowers at the edge of the sofa. A little
If you were
blue,
to
a little
zoom
blue.
in on any particular part of this, you wouldn't even know what the fuck is going on.
maybe the shoe. The shoes look good.
Well, yeah, that's probably one of the more rendered parts. Like even the face, there's not a lot of information to work from there.
Looks like I'm
Reminds
taking
me
my
a lot
glasses
of,
off.
Sergeant.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's actually something that I enjoy about this because it's not honestly it's not something I can do.
Right.
So I appreciate it because
Yeah, I always feel the need to like really render everything.
yes, I have to
Same.
over render everything. Whereas these guys go in there with like 5 brush strokes and they're like, that's a face. And you're
Yeah.
like, holy fuck, that is a face.
Like if you were to look at like all the flowers on her hat, that's just a mess.
Right.
Like if you're just looking at just that, but in context, your brain fills in the blanks.
Right. This is not what we talked about earlier a couple weeks ago, or if we did record it, where it like it draws you into one area. Mm-hmm. This is like you look at it, you're like, oh wow, yeah, it's a girl in a dress.
And the
Flowers.
thing I appreciate it is that like you look at it and in the background there's a painting that's
Yeah.
clearly like a
Oh.
like a cityscape.
Yeah.
Like
It might even be like
That water scene where there's
yeah,
like
that's
one
what it
boat
looks like
on
to
the
me.
pier.
right. But it's like when I look at the whole image, that's immediately what there's a cityscape or an oceanscape behind her. Then you look at it closer, and you're like, what is it? Like what is it? And it's like so it makes you think about it too.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating that like that's what your mind comes up with when you're looking at something like this.
If I had to pick, like when you guys do Renaissance art and like how you guys get off on that, and you love that. Like, if I had to pick a period of paintings that I like impressionistic paintings like this a lot.
Yeah.
and that's probably where my when I get really like turned on or like fetishized by paintings, and I like the whole like the weird
When
ass.
Zach wants to stick his dick in a painting.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what he thinks of.
Well, no, I'm
Reggie's
just,
looking very uncomfortable right now.
Fucking saturated those colors are.
No, that's why I go.
brushstrokes. Yeah.
That's why I go to the extreme when I have a lot of abstract pieces. I'm like, yeah, that's fucking good. That brushstroke.
Yeah, but I think there's a line where all that shit goes out the window and it's like fucking just a mess.
I relate it a lot to the brushstrokes to brewing. I relate brewing a lot to painting and painting a lot to brewing because when you put malt in a beer and it's different, and you're like, oh, I'm going to use caramel 60, special B, chocolate, roasted barley. You don't know what that beer is going to taste like or how that beer is going to be a month later because of the ingredients. They meld differently together. When you have a painting like this with brushstrokes, it's very difficult to be able to put the brushstroke down and not fucking touch it.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
And that's why I like look at this. I'm like, oh yeah,
All right, I get that.
that's not like, and just leave it. You don't know what that's gonna fucking do in 3, 4, 5 weeks from now.
Because
Yeah,
do you
but-
know how many paintings are ruined by fucking artists that are like, I'm just going to do this one thing before I go to bed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And it's fucked.
Oh, every painting
Yeah.
that she's ever done.
I'm just going to fix this. No.
No, and then you never.
I'm going upstairs to go to bed, and she's like, I'm just going to fix this little spot. And I always yell down, don't fucking do it.
well,
like
the
that
thing
Bob
is,
Ross
you
thing.
could easily take this painting and turn it into like a hyper realistic painting. You would just have to spend more time sculpting all the elements of it to turn it
Right.
into
Really crisp
that.
up the edges.
Depends on
Yeah.
the person. Like, how can someone do this and walk away? Like, I like that.
That's
I like
that's
that.
why I enjoy this because I can't wrap my head around it personally. Like,
Is it infuriating?
No,
It's not. If you're looking at it.
Can't hear you. I think your mic's dead.
I think my mic died.
There you go.
You gotta go lose cable.
Looking at it's not infuriating. Trying to do it.
It's
is.
infuriating. for
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
because
Fair
I
enough.
can't wrap my head around not
You can go ahead.
doing blends and having sharp edges and all that. Like it's got to be crisp.
This
is-
one's
see,
more
I like-
rendered.
This is one of my favorite pieces that we'll show. I just don't like how she has no butt.
Well, it's the 1800s.
It's
I
the
don't think they had many butts back
Well,
then.
They probably didn't figure out squats. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, squats go right for the glutes. You know?
They probably didn't have Megan Thee Stallion to show them the way.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Where you hold a weight over your pelvis and you do bridges.
The pigment on her body's great.
So
Yeah.
There's a lot of different skin tone that's going on in there
this
versus
is
like the
good
last
painting.
one that was just like skin tone and then
round
like
table,
brushstroke.
quick. Favorite part of the painting.
I would have to say her calf going into her thigh. There's like 10 different colors there.
Favorite part of the painting.
Yeah.
Zach.
The green sheet in the back.
Oh, fuck you. Reggie.
I was gonna say the green hue of her shadow.
Ooh.
And how that
Yeah.
probably plays
That's
off
nice.
the red of what they mixed in with their skin tone.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd say either the
So
the fur carpet there or the just the tones in her skin.
from
are
that
awesome.
deduction, he probably did like a green wash to start.
carpet.
I got to go
Yeah,
slightly
look at
goofy
it.
with it. She's got a mullet.
Oh, she got a mullet.
She got a mullet.
Yeah.
Well, it is the 1880s.
I know. That's why I mean, 100 years early, but
The hand looks really rendered out.
It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
the fucking fur carpet. It does look like a fur carpet.
Yeah.
nice.
Ooh.
Oh, do you need a minute? Okay.
Don't
But
sit
see,
don't sit
like-
next to him.
Yeah, and that's just
Too
a bunch
late.
of random brushstrokes too.
The
though. It's
fuck
like-
is that? There's like a maroon and red in that carpet.
Yeah.
Which leads you to think it's a furry carpet.
And the green
It's
is
the-
really popping it out.
The
green
texture
wash
of it,
underneath.
like
Yeah,
the
it's
texture
really
of the
pushing forward.
brushstrokes is what really sold that for me. It conveys so much information just from those little bit of.
She's got a little bit of flowers
Information.
too in her hand that she's holding.
Yeah. Little baby's breath
Is
or something.
this watercolor as well?
This is watercolor.
This one's
It-
watercolor?
It
Yeah.
almost looks like it's oil or like
Some sort of
Or-
opaque-
Or dry
Yeah.
medium.
He
even.
did a lot of watercolor.
Like I almost thought it was a pastel.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I
he
wanted
did
yeah.
a lot of mixed media too.
Okay.
So he did a lot of charcoal and then painted over the top of that.
Okay, because I was gonna say like her thigh area, like right under her ass cheek into the thigh there.
Yeah.
Definitely looks like you can almost see like the lines
strokes,
as
Yeah.
as you're going in, making those like
The mullet ruins it for me though. You just ruined this piece.
Reminds you of your mom in the 80s, 90s?
Def not.
Def not.
Nope.
Your mom was all business, no partying back.
Is that Theo?
Yeah.
she definitely partied in the back sometimes.
All right,
I
next,
knew it.
next, next.
If it wasn't true. Anyway.
Oh, cool.
Pretty cool. That water looks great.
That figure's kind of rigid. That really sticks out
Yeah.
to me. But
It looks
everything
like
else is awesome.
he tried to give that person a Megan the Stallion.
he
butt.
did.
That,
That
to me,
person's
that
gonna-
guy looks kind of like a scarecrow stuck in the water. Like just
Yeah, that person does not look comfortable.
It's a nice piece.
Really like the setting and the reflection. That's all pretty cool.
It's like the first time you played Skyrim and saw the water.
Yeah.
Like fuck, why does this
Yeah,
look
this
so
is
good?
like Riverwood, that first town you show up in.
You're like, why does this water look so good?
Yeah.
I like the house in the background mimicking the watercolor palette.
I like the use of green.
Yeah,
It's really done well.
nice warm colors.
And the
I
more
mean, it
you
looks
look
like
at
he
it-
did a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of plein air painting, I would
Yeah,
say.
definitely.
Yeah.
I've never
Cool.
done that. I've never.
Just gone
You
outside.
guys done that before?
Go outside
Plein air?
and paint.
When I was younger, I did not paint but draw. And
I was gonna do that for once for painting one at BCC. They're like, do a landscape for your final. I was like, cool. So I went downtown and set up an easel and started working and got rained on. I was like, yeah, all right. Glad about
Hey,
this
that happens
24 by
sometimes.
36 fucking canvas.
Did
Anyway.
Bohari? I know we're alums. Did Bohari ever send you out to go paint BU?
No.
No,
No,
he
no.
did that to us.
Yeah.
And then someone was like, "What the fuck are you doing, loser?" I'm like, "I'm fucking painting."
What a fig.
Yeah, I was like,
You got bullied.
I got
in college.
bullied in college. The fuck are
where
doing?
were you?
Cool art
BU.
nerd.
You were out on campus?
Yeah, he made all of us leave and go paint outside. So I went and posted up down by the.
Like I
art-
get if you were like sitting downtown in a bar
I know, I
or
was
something,
like-
then it would be like, what the fuck? But
It was
if you're on
I was
college
like,
campus,
What the fuck? What an asshole. Yeah, and so Bahari had us go do that type of shit. I liked it. It was fun. But I also really would rather paint people. So I purposely painted people when they were walking through.
Cool.
Yeah.
You know how you asked a few minutes ago, where do you draw the line?
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. I think the idea of showing me how you feel about a thing
Oh, shut up.
is more interesting than just showing me how you feel. Because, you know what I mean? Like, if you're looking at something and you're making abstracted strokes to define an object or your
Good answer.
feelings about a thing, I feel is more interesting than just you painting your feelings anyway. Like,
Good answer.
I painted a blue square because I felt very blue that day. And I'm like,
It's a good observation. I like
It's
that.
a fucking great observation. So, like, if
That's
you're like,
probably one of the most intelligent things any of us have said on
yeah,
this.
that's correct. Like,
And I'm not sure if I
Hey,
even fully
don't blow up
understood
his
it.
ego now.
no, I
He's
mean,
got to be funny still.
you break up with your girlfriend. It's like like punk music. You know, you break up with your girlfriend, you write a song about it. You know how miserable you are. You break up with your girlfriend, so you paint her nude and then give it to everybody.
That seems like a very Marilyn Manson
Yeah.
thing to do.
Put it up on
did
your
that.
or
Instagram.
like in 1998 when you got your
before.
first cut of Photoshop, you just start photoshopping dicks in a beautiful picture.
He used to paint pictures of his like significant others, and when he broke up with Rose McGowan, he couldn't stand her, so he just sold it for the cost of the frame.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I feel like most
so
people
the-
can't stand her now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so the paintings that would normally sell for like $100,000, he was selling them for like the $50 frames.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. All right, next one. So this, this is a painting, I believe, of a czar. I don't remember which one it was.
Cigarette stem, fucking classy.
Yeah.
So you don't get your teeth yellow. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. The red in the back is nice.
Is your mic
Very,
working?
very
I think
demonic.
so.
Yeah, we can hear it.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say I thought it was like a self-portrait because it's not very noble of a czar painting.
No.
I like it. I like that
Yeah.
red, man. That red's really
Hang
cool.
on, let's-
I like his very long cigarette.
I like the fact that it's not as noble looking. Like it's very classy style, but it's still just like relaxed.
Looks
It's
like the
not-
dude's just chilling, you know,
Right.
smoking a stove.
like he's just chilling at the back of the bar. Like I'm just gonna hang out
I'm trying to see if I can pull up what the name of this piece was and who he painted.
with my cigarette, blue jeans, and ascot.
Yeah, it's
Is that a key?
He does have an ascot.
Like by his belt line? Or is
Ooh.
that just like a belt?
I was trying to figure that out too.
it does look like a key
Yeah, it's
hanging
like
off of
key-shaped.
something.
the pants are nice. The chair looks good too. That looks rendered.
His jacket looks kind of velvety. I like that.
You can almost feel it.
I like the high contrast.
Yeah.
The red and the fucking just a almost jet black coat.
Yeah.
It almost looks like colorized photos from back then on the face.
It's pretty dope. I'm into it. I like the little splotches of like a bluish tone in the background
Yeah.
too to kind of.
You know, this is
give
some
more
czar.
character.
His self-portrait comes up next, I think. I don't
Out of
have
all
the
of
name
them, I
of
think
the
this
czar.
is my favorite so far.
It's nice. The eyes are good, and the nose, the proportions on the face.
His nice clefted chin.
It's a good lean in.
Yeah,
It'd be
good butt chin.
He likes to use the green to accent things. I dig it.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's like his shtick. If he's using that as like his underpainting? So when he builds
Yeah.
up in red, everything seems a tiny bit more vivid. You
Is
know?
this also watercolor?
That
No,
one seems oil.
I don't think this is
based
I don't,
off.
no, I don't know about this one. I think
A,
this is
the
oil.
texture, and B, you can see the glaze in the stroke. Like
That hand is good too.
That white, like right behind him, definitely looks like an oil.
Also, good work. We all can agree so far. Everything that he's done is good.
Yeah.
All right.
Good amount of ash on the
Is he
cigarette,
going to
so
have
he's
a
not going to
mental
burn himself.
breakdown and it's just going to be red squares?
He's gonna have a mental breakdown. He's not gonna paint a mental breakdown. He's gonna do something drastic.
Did you hear my
Oh.
favorite part?
What?
My favorate part. Good amount of ash on the cigarette, so he's not burning
Ooh.
himself.
Yeah.
Doesn't have windy ash.
It's a long cigarette too.
Yeah. Well, it's from
Why
the
did we
times.
stop smoking long cigarettes? I mean,
Cigarette-
obviously the
cigarette
cancer
stems?
Yeah, like the cancer and everything, but like,
the long.
yeah. Why did we
tube
stop?
That you stick the cigarette in, you smoke the tube.
Just
I think that still might
fashionable
be a
anymore.
European bit. A buddy of mine brought home a whole bunch when he went off to fucking Europe.
What do they call cigarettes over there, Reg?
Do you mean in England or in the rest of
in
Europe?
England. In England, what do they call them? I'm just confused.
a bundle of sticks.
Gritters?
Is that what they call
A
them?
grit? Cigarette? A grit?
No, I don't think that's what they call them.
A bundle
They
of
call them
sticks.
fags.
That's what they call them.
A bundle of sticks.
The bundle of sticks. All right.
Nice.
Moving on. Who's this broad?
Some
She's
woman he
sassy.
painted. Her eyes are the thing that drew me to pick this piece. It's very scary and eerie.
It's got very big eyes.
She looks like she's mad. Like
She's got a pretty monochrome. He's right in that corner of.
Like, she doesn't look mad, but she definitely looks like she's going to stab you at the same time.
That's the face of disappointment right there.
I like this piece.
So he
Cool.
picked,
That's why it feels like my childhood.
here's we're gonna go a little controversial stuff here. So with the final piece that we're gonna show here, a lot of people think that the woman in the final piece caused him to go crazy, and was like a mistress of his or whatever, a girl that
Okay.
he was banging. This woman in this piece is more resembles the woman that he was banging than the end piece.
Okay.
Because this woman is a brunette, and the other woman is blonde. So that's it. That's just a little tidbit.
Okay.
We're giving out a little information.
He was,
that in
banging,
mind.
Precursor.
he was banging broads.
He definitely was.
I'll drink to that.
Some Frank Reynolds style.
He was
Cheers to banging
sexually
broads.
active. We'll say
Christina, how do you feel about cheering to that?
he's just sexually active.
I mean, we wouldn't be here if people weren't sexually active. So
It's true.
Absolutely.
Out of all the things that we have said in front of her, you think that was going to be
yeah,
what
that
did
was
it?
gonna be the straw that broke the camel's back.
10 years of
Guys, I don't think I want to be on your show anymore.
pretty sure she made a Zach's mom has had sex joke like 10 minutes
Oh,
ago.
absolutely.
yeah,
I did.
Absolutely. We make fun of people here, each other. That's what we do because we love each other.
Aw.
But those eyes for me scare the shit out of me. It's like a cursed piece.
She's gonna
Oh,
fuck you up
she
your
does have a
day.
very
Christina,
stern
you
look
should do a
about her.
cursed piece week.
I did.
Oh,
We did
You should probably watch that.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
There's some pretty
I was
good stuff
thinking
on
the other
there.
day, since it's October, we should do Cursed Artwork 2 or something.
Part 2,
Ooh.
Electric Boogaloo.
How many episodes of this have you watched before you agreed to join it?
How many of you had me on?
How many full episodes?
You should also ask that question. How many full episodes have I watched to this day?
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Can I have some beer?
I don't think any of us watch this. Like,
I
in its
go
entirety.
back and sometimes I'm like, if I want to watch it while I'm falling asleep, I'll pull it up. It's nice. I like to hear the Reggie yells to wake me up.
See, for me, when I'm trying to come up with trying to come up with ideas, I do have to load it just to go back and be like, all right, I was really drunk. So who did we already talk about that I have zero memory of talking about? Just so I don't do another episode about that person.
You're giving away the secret sauce right now. This is
That's not my secret sauce.
this
I
is
just
how
go,
we do the podcast.
who the fuck? What artist is going to piss off Ruff? That's the way I usually. Except for this week. This week I wanted to say, hey, I'm not one trick pony. I can do this type of art. So here we are. Next.
Okay.
That's it. I want to prove. Just
You're like really rushing through these tonight.
we're not rushing through.
We got a good amount.
We got a good
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying this was the last time.
older woman.
I like that dress. It's a sassy dress for an older
I like
woman.
how that dress is rendered.
Her
Yeah.
fiery red hair.
Really nice.
A lot of movement. Like you could see the movement with this dress, like a modern, an old school GIF or GIF.
Christina,
Yeah.
your hair
Graphic.
and sweater kind of match
I
her outfit.
also love the subtle, line where her feet are. Like on the bottom of the painting.
Like he's clever enough to put her on top of a blank backdrop.
Yeah.
Like photos.
This is
Photographers.
we're learning here. You guys are teaching me.
Yeah.
We're teaching each other.
You're teaching us.
You're teaching some technique. You're picking up on technique stuff that I'm like, oh, now I see that.
and hopefully some
the way
kids are
that you're
watching.
presenting this, I really wonder what this last piece of art looks like.
Yeah.
Because you're being real pleasant about it, and I feel like you're just waiting for the other shoe to
It's a
drop.
phenomenal piece.
I'm really
I
hoping
love the last piece of art, and I know all
There's
of
no
you will.
dicks in it, I'll
There's
let
no
you know
dicks.
now.
The whole podcast.
Somebody get their head cut off?
No, it's
Is a
just-
guy like with an axe in his face?
See, I'm
some of those.
It's a well-known piece.
really hoping that kids are watching this and they
Is
learn a lot.
it a guy
too.
where he's like opening a door that leads to somebody's butthole?
Watch, it's the Statue of Liberty.
Can you
this
imagine?
whole time.
This whole time. Could you imagine being a painter in 1800s ago? You know what I want to do? I want to paint your butthole. And the woman is like, what? You pardon? Like
How
she's like,
dare you?
She's like so offended. You're like, I just need to paint your butthole. Like, just bend over, like American Psycho.
And then that fucking little girl song cues up. I want to know what's inside of your butthole.
And like she's like, and then she's like, I can't believe he's serious. and he does it, and that's how he gets it. She's like, he finds beauty in the weirdest places. Like
And that's actually how abstract paintings were born.
And that's where the term chocolate starfish came from.
ooh,
Wait,
And on that
Limp
note-
Bizkit didn't coin that one.
that was hot dog flavored water, right? And chocolate starfish. Ooh,
Gross.
I saw him recently at one of the shows with Fred Durst.
I will
How
not
old he
give
looks.
Fred Durst the credit of saying chocolate starfish.
Yeah, he shows up looking like a dad. He's wearing, I'm pretty sure, the same coat that you wear.
He was badass.
Do you know that Fred Durst was a tattoo artist before Limp Bizkit?
Did he? Was he really?
A bad one too, wasn't he?
Probably.
All he did was like nautical
Tribal.
stars, some tribal.
Oh yeah, that was about the time that he was.
Yeah.
Oh, you want corn? Well, I got orn. ORN. Because I forgot to draw a K.
But it's nice. It's another nice piece that he did. The color pattern on it is awesome. Like if you were to put this in Illustrator as a convert image, like image trace, you would literally just get white, blue, black, and you would get orange. That's all you would get. Her body wouldn't even be there. It would just be her body would be blended in with the white.
Yeah, there's a really good use of negative space in this one.
Nice.
I like it.
Do you know what this is though? Is this more watercolor? or
Watercolor.
oil?
I can't do watercolor.
It's
I've
very
tried.
Me
Watercolor?
neither, man. I
I don't-
destroy the paper.
I don't know. There's so much texture to this. I've never seen a watercolor artist get texture like that.
I mean, back then they put mercury in things, so maybe
point.
that was
If
the
it was
trick.
like a block, I could see that, or some really heavy paper that it's on.
He also it could be he also did a lot of mixed media with charcoal 1st, so a lot of the watercolor blends with that charcoal.
Okay.
Which I find I've done watercolor a couple times and I can't fucking do it.
Yeah,
It runs way too well for me because I like to use a heavy amount of paint, and when I'm trying to do the same thing with watercolor, it just ruins the piece.
because you just dump a bucket of water on the painting and call it done.
Teal blue, yes.
I feel like wash works better because a little bit heavier body.
Wash,
Wash. Opaque watercolor.
See, that's what James Gurney does a lot, I think. Like when he does those little, I'm fucking. He put one on his Instagram the other day where it's like he's about to get on a flight, so he whipped out his fucking little
Yeah.
sketchbook and fucking did a watercolor painting of the fucking plane at the gate.
Yeah.
It's just, and it looks fucking awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect. I feel like this guy was on that same page,
Yeah, I think he was very talented, but he also at this point he was getting eaten alive by why is his work not selling.
Dude, there was a lot of people back then, and it's the 1800s, so like the criteria for ending up in a mental institution was like you wore blue on a Sunday.
Oh Jesus!
Your
Rough
husband
times.
said you were a little sassy last Wednesday and
Yeah.
didn't want to make
Let's
more
give
fish
you
and
some
chips.
medical grade cocaine.
Yeah.
That'll help.
Some heroin.
Yeah.
Some
It's not
black
like-
tar.
Have you tried some snakes and leeches for that?
It's also not like they had, TikTok to really advertise their artwork back then either. Like, how is
True.
how is he seriously going to get famous unless he's walking into places going, "Hey, look at this." Like they didn't have photography of
Right.
the artwork really.
But
Like it's not like it was.
I can at least sympathize with somebody who's like, I have fucking talent.
Oh, I can sympathize, but
why?
it makes.
I'm
Am
pretty
I
sure
not?
those people have existed throughout history, though.
Right. That's why I sympathize for guys like for people like this in general because you're like,
Oh, I sympathize. I'm curious how people got famous during that time
Right.
period because
right.
there weren't those things. It's not like
It's
you
because
got-
they knew the right people.
Yes, and I relate that a lot even to the brewing industry too because here I am, and this is my own soapbox. 9 years into the industry, at one point looked at as it's a stout. You can have it.
guess so.
At one point, we were top 5 in the state, all of this shit, and then all of a sudden we just fell off, and I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, what happened? I'm like, we just don't have millions of dollars. That's basically what boils down to in this industry, this late industry now, is just you don't have millions of dollars. So, or same thing he talks about, you have connections back then, or all these people are, oh man, I know Bam Asler. We'll get him up here to Warsaw. He'll have a show and he'll sell a bunch of shit, and then
Well, I can relate it to like tattooers that are fucking phenomenal, that have like no social media following kind of thing.
Right,
You
yeah.
know, it's like somebody who's all right will have like fucking almost 1 million followers, and then there's someone who does way fucking better, mind blowing work
Yeah.
that you don't even know who they are.
Absolutely. And it's- okay,
like if
perfect,
you're a,
perfect thing that you're saying. Same thing with the brewing industry. We post. We're lucky if we get 100 likes, and all of a sudden, someone who has a buttload of money, massive brewery that has a buttload of money posts, and their photos equally the same as mine, except they get 300 likes to 1,000 likes, and you're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck happened here?
Because you got to specialize in googly anime eyes and get on OnlyFans.
One, advertising dollars,
Yeah, I know.
and two, I mean, it also
Ultimately, social media is not a real place.
Right, it's not a real.
what it also comes down to is how often are you posting, how often are you interacting with other people
Absolutely.
on there, how often are you doing like Instagram right now. On a side tangent, if you post a still image, will actually lower it in the algorithm than if you post a reel. Like any of the reels,
Which is fucking stupid.
That's
because
where they're
it's
going
supposed
with
to
it.
be a photograph-based service.
Well, they
but
want
ever
to
since-
catch that TikTok thing.
Right,
Yeah,
that's what they want. They want
fucking ever since I updated Facebook, like every other thing's a reel, and it's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
Japanese fashion,
Yeah.
which is basically girls with big boobs.
that's because that's what you look at.
And I'm like looking at.
Yeah,
It's not what
they
I
know
looked
what
at.
you
I
look
just
at.
I just downloaded the app, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, you're gonna get me in trouble in front of my wife.
Oh, they have a way to track you.
They know
your
you.
entire viewing history of everything.
I don't want.
They'd absolutely know what you're into.
Free Japanese girls with big boobs.
Yeah, we'll move on to the next one. That was great.
Ooh,
Is this the self-portrait?
This is the self-portrait.
Cool.
Similar.
That was a sweet hat.
so
Yeah, I
much
fucking
texture.
love his hat.
I love it. I don't know if this is weathered, if it looks weathered on purpose by design, or it actually is just weathered piece.
It looks like he's. This one, it really stands out that it looks like he's almost drawing on one of his paintings, like
Yeah.
taking a stick of pastels, and
Oh yeah,
you know,
Yeah.
you see the way the red.
the red in the hat.
Yeah,
Can we get more paper towels?
Bam's making
Bro.
a massive mess, dude.
You overfilled
Just,
this.
Yeah, just give him the fucking whole thing.
What? It's a can. It's
A
not.
giant can.
It's a giant can. Yeah.
So if I drink this whole thing, does it count as one beer?
No. The
Okay,
eyes
my
too.
wife.
The guy has a way with eyes as well, and you're gonna see this in his final piece too. That's just like, what the fuck? Like it. It's sad. This piece is really sad. He's void here. He's void of his soul.
Is it just because he's brown-eyed? Because
He's got quite the mustache.
The woman's eyes 2 paintings ago was fucking creepy as shit.
Also brown eyes.
Fair.
He does look very sad in this one. Like without looking sad, like there's something slightly glassy-eyed about him. There's a little like just somber.
Is it the Dr. Zhivago look?
Maybe. Maybe he just came back from a hunting trip.
I remember as a kid watching Dr. Zhivago because it was on PBS, and all I can remember is it was cold and they were hungry and they had big hats.
I got-
Sounds like my life.
Got 2 more pieces after this.
I'm usually cold, hungry, and wearing a hat.
But not that kind of
It's
hat.
good, right?
Yeah.
I want to find a hat like that.
Really showcases himself.
I'm getting hungry to see the big reveal.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Let's move on to the next one. We could talk for a while. So there's this one and then one more.
Is this another portrait of
It's
him?
another portrait of him when he was young. This is an early
Cool.
piece. You could tell definitely. That's why, like with this, I think this is more charcoal. I don't know this piece. So I think it's more
Pastel,
charcoal or
maybe?
pastel because you can see the
The paper.
The paper, yeah, you can see it.
The texture of the paper. Kind
look. You can even see the paper come through in his arm there, the white.
Yeah.
It's still good. All this stuff is solid work.
It's good impressionism.
All right, let's go to the next one.
You just want to see.
Let's just
the
do
final
it.
one.
Okay. So this is the piece that's pretty famous. It's well known.
I love that horse's face.
Yeah.
If we can,
The
we
horse's
can't
face
zoom
is
in.
just the weird ass part.
And
of it,
this
you know?
is called La Folie, or
I took acid.
or in
Black
American.
Phillip.
This is called. This is called. What the fuck is this called? Oh, Frenzy of Exaltations. Now,
I like this piece. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Did not expect this one.
Yeah, right? So he does this piece.
Is this like a
And in 19
end of his life piece or
This is the one that fucking drove him mad as shit.
right? But is it like
Yeah, yes.
late in life?
Yes.
Okay.
So he does this piece, and it gets a lot of mixed reviews. Like bad reviews, good reviews. Like it gets a lot of mixed reviews, just in general.
Okay.
Some people just shit on it because it's at the museum in Warsaw, and what ends up happening is it's on view for 36 days. And of those 36 days, he's getting all these people that are coming to his door saying, "I want to buy this piece. I want to buy this piece. It's amazing." Also, how
Did
many
he
people-
do this to troll people though? Like,
I don't know.
did he just get sick of people not liking his shit? It was like, I'm gonna paint some fucking ridiculous stuff, and somebody's gonna fucking like it.
But look at
This
the
is gonna
horse.
be weird.
Look at the horse's tongue and the eyes of the horse.
Yeah, that's the funny part of this for sure.
Right. His critics were
Women
saying
ride on your nightmares.
Right. I like that.
Dude, everything else about this is great though. The composition's fucking amazing.
Yeah, if
The-
you squint and just see the way the silhouette of her body
Well, yeah,
is just
the
resting.
way the character is like in the darkness of the horse itself.
It's a yin and yang photo too.
Well,
Yeah, you really
even
don't-
I bet you if you put the Fibonacci sequence over this, it would be fucking perfect, like right up
Yeah.
into that corner there.
Like
Sure.
you really don't see where the horse's hair or mane or
Right.
its
Yeah,
ass
there's, like-
is or anything. Like it just ends. Like it
Right.
just
But
keep,
the shadows underneath the horse almost make it look like it has more legs.
Oh, yeah.
Very
Oh.
unsettling.
It's apocalyptic for me. For me.
yeah.
So it's there for 36 days, and it was supposed to be there for like I guess a year or a year and a half at this museum. So
Do
he's
you know what
getting
museum it was?
yeah. Hang on.
Do,
It was born in Warsaw. Blah, 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 blah.
No, this is great.
Yeah, this is fucking rad.
This reminds me of the Nightmare painting.
Oh, the
The Nightmare. I don't remember who painted it. It's the
Brahm one.
Was it from your
it's
fantasy
the
show?
older 1800s one where the woman's lying down and there's a little demon on her chest.
Oh yeah, yeah, okay,
The horse popping out from
yeah.
behind.
I think this is just a museum at Warsaw, to be honest with you, when this happened. So he decides at day 30, he's supposed to sell it. He was trying to sell this piece. Someone offered 3,000 rubles for this piece, day 36.
What does that equate to? in
Whatever the
today
fuck
money?
that means.
How many
can't-
Pokemon?
How many
does that
U.S.
get you?
dollars is that?
I can't answer that
Not
right
enough
now.
NFT
But he
Pokemon.
wanted 10,000
Is that like
rubles.
Bitcoin?
So he
How,
wanted.
how many slammers?
Okay, he was
Only
offered.
traded on BattleNet.
So he was offered 3,000 rubles, and he wanted 10,000 for this. And we'll do the calculation once we're done. I'll pull it up. And
So they
we'll
offered
sit down.
33%.
He goes ballistic, shows up to the museum with a knife, and destroys the piece.
So it's gone.
Oh wow.
He
How did
dies like a year later or 2 years later, and then his family commissioned someone to put the piece back together, sew it back, like fix it, get it back together, and now the piece is worth like hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Okay.
It's worth money.
Yeah, now that
Yeah.
he's dead.
Yes.
Cheers.
At least
party with this
10,000.
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at least 10,000
yeah.
rubles.
Resentment.
I don't know about party
nihilism.
with this guy. We'll get to that.
I can't.
Oh, there's more?
Well, I'm just saying, like, let's talk about this and then we'll ask that
Sure.
question.
I feel like this dude got really into Nietzsche. He was like, "Fuck the world."
Was Nietzsche alive at that point?
I don't
Wasn't
know.
he like 20s or 30s?
Was Nietzsche?
I destroyed my most famous work and moved out into the Swiss Alps. Those
Twist.
clever little fucking creatures that invented knowledge. The Ubermensch.
I'm pulling up something else. Keep talking.
Yeah, I think the only weird thing about this is the expression on the horse's face.
Yeah, that derp look.
Yeah.
Like
I don't
he's
think
going-
it's different. I think that horse is scared as shit.
Like
This
when
is
you
a-
pull a dog by his leash too tight.
It's fearful. So this is also oil on canvas, just so we all are aware, and this is also 120 inches by 110 inches.
So it's pretty big.
Nice epic piece.
So it's 10 feet tall? 120 inches? That's 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
Right?
That's dope.
Shit.
Where is it right now?
Where is it right now?
Like if I wanted to fly somewhere
And see it.
and see it.
location,
Switchblade marks and all.
if you can pronounce this, you can pronounce this name.
I like how you assumed he would have a switchblade.
That's where it's on location.
It's in
Sukanis
Krakow.
Museum, Krakow.
Krakow.
Sukanis
So it's still in
Museum.
it's still in Poland.
Yep.
Let's.
So we're taking a road trip to Poland.
No thanks.
Get in the car. Let's go.
So this thing survived that dude stabbing it coming back together, and World War II.
And World
Yeah.
War II.
It's worth
And in
going to see.
1904, it was sold for 1,000 rubles. It's the last documented
1,000 rubles.
1,000 rubles.
Isn't that the Zelda
That-
money? Rupees?
Isn't that less than he
Originally was offered.
wanted?
Yeah, it was sold for 1,000 rubles, and then was given to the National Museum in Krakow.
Krakow.
Krakow. And that's where it remains, where it's valued at hundreds of thousands.
Yeah.
How much?
It's fucking rad.
Hold on. How much do you think that equates to in U.S. dollars?
Rubles?
Rubles?
Rupees.
1,000 rubles.
50 cents.
Right now.
$100.
Not even back
300.
then. Right now. $13.95.
Jesus Christ.
This dude is tragic.
He
Yo,
wanted.
I'm gonna buy like
that
fucking
means-
100 of these,
Right.
dude.
That means he wanted $139.
No wonder he
Well,
was
that
so
was
fucking
like
pissed off,
old-timey
dude.
money.
Right. That was
so-
old timey money. So back
So
then.
it's probably like a
Still,
grand.
still, like,
But that's why you can tell why he's so fucking agitated. It's like, fucking guys won't even buy my piece.
Yeah.
He's
Back-
like, fuck this.
so-
I'm going to go cut it up myself.
yeah.
And he did. But the piece, this is, it's real.
Guys,
it really
I have to
speaks.
piss.
Oh my God.
Go for it.
So do I, by the way. I see you dancing, by the way, doing the PP dance. Bye.
Bye.
For me, this is very apocalyptic.
But she looks really into it. She's
Well-
like, the world's ending. Yay.
We can't zoom in, but her face is like in ecstasy,
Yeah.
while the horse's face.
Close that curtain.
I would 100% pay $13 for this piece.
This large piece, that
I would
fit
pay
the
way
wall.
more than that for this piece. You fucking kidding me?
well,
Was that $13 at the time though? Like,
no, that's right now. That's what I mean. So
that's
it's
how
back-
much rubles are worth now.
Right. Back then, it was a quarter
Probably
of that, probably.
less.
A tenth of that.
Wow. It's a good use of just light and dark.
Yeah.
And how he finds a way to showcase that. It looks like the sun is just beaming on the woman and part of the other part of the
This
horse. but
derpy
still-
horse.
I wonder if the horse wasn't that derpy, and then the person that restored it was like, I don't know what his face looked like, so
You get that.
phoning it in.
This is going to be horrible for me, what I would say.
I want to know how they
Oh, wait,
restored
wait.
something like that though. If you fucking just stabbed it with a knife, like that's got to.
Yeah, he went in with
the
a-
ass, dude.
He was arrested at his own art show.
Yeah.
He was arrested?
Yeah, he was arrested at his own art show, thrown out.
How do you get arrested for damaging your own shit?
Because it's in the, I don't know.
Disturbing
Because
the
while
piece.
it's there, they're responsible for it, so it could be an insurance issue.
Like, I own
Also-
that. If I slash it,
Also, if he was
Yeah, but it's
yelling
mine.
crazy
You're also
shit and
talking
stabbing
like
a
20th
painting,
century terms too.
Yeah, it's like if what Christina said, you're yelling crazy shit
And you
in a
have a
museum,
knife.
and you have a knife. They're gonna be like, "Oh, who the fuck is this guy?"
Yeah, they're not going to care if you made the painting or not at that point.
I feel like, yeah. I thought even the hair on the woman is fucking amazing.
I dig this. So, what terrible thing were you going to say about the horse?
You think the horse when she landed on his back, he's like, "Ooh, fire snatch."
giggity.
Come on, deadpan. That's what we got. This
All
week.
right, so what other information do we have about this guy?
Not much.
else?
I mean,
Aside
you
from
look
his
at
painting.
yourself. It's very, very minimum. About
When did
this
he
guy.
die?
Did he actually go crazy, or was it just?
Or was he just pissed?
Yeah, was
It
he just?
sounds like he was just pissed.
Maybe he was just pissed.
He was
but-
pissed, and his family was like, "This is too much for us. Just put him in the institution."
It's probably what happened. He died.
He died.
Wait, I want to find out when he died.
Well,
Don't he?
Watislav.
He died in 1895.
Oh.
He was only
1895.
he was only 28 years old.
He was only
Damn.
28?
Yeah.
Fuck.
I'm pretty sure
He
one of
did
the paintings was dated.
He resurrected
19
himself as
something.
Nietzsche.
It might have been
He
dated,
was
but
so deaf.
he 100% died at this time. Even
he was only
that is
fucking
interesting. We did cover
20
that.
something in like the
No, that was the year that-
1900s.
Let me see that.
By 1920.
Oh wait, no, this is the self-portrait. This
Yeah,
is
that was the
It's a
date of the
self-portrait.
self-portrait. That was his first self-portrait. So he was alive. in
What
the,
is life?
Top quality research here,
Baby,
folks. You
don't
heard
care
it first.
to me.
I'm like, one of the paintings was definitely
Do
dated
not
like
watch this.
He
if you're
did die. He
studying for an art
did
history test.
die though at
He'll
the age of
fail
28 from
mad.
tuberculosis. He did die from that, but he died in. I think he died in I do think he died. So that's odd because we do have a piece that was.
You could probably just Google his name and it'll come up with a birth date.
yeah,
and a
I'm
death
looking.
date.
Go ahead.
I'm looking.
He might have an IMDb page. Did you check that?
IMDb.
For 1895, actually. Yeah.
He died in 1895.
1866 to 1866. How did you not know when he was born? Literally the first thing that popped up. He was born February 4th, 1866.
Hey.
I still did the
Hey.
podcast.
Hey.
I guess all that doesn't matter. We looked at his work. It's good.
Yeah.
There's some inconsistencies.
His dad was named Antony. His mom, Waleria.
Valeria? That's
Waleria. That sounds like a disease.
I like that.
But it also sounds like a disease at the same time. Yo, you got Waleria?
It sounds like she's a werewolf or something.
She's probably that horse.
Waleria Gardowski. Gardowska.
All right, so that's all we have for this guy.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. So early on, would you party with this guy early in his life?
You got
I'd
TB,
party.
so
The end of it would be awesome.
That's what I'm getting at.
I go to his art show and like wait to see what was going to happen.
Yeah. I want to party with him like year 27 through 28, but not
I'd
tuberculosis
be like, guys,
days.
we got to go to this Wadislav show tonight. It's going to be fucking crazy.
Can you imagine that? That's how they talked back then. Like other people knew, like we got to go. Dude,
Yeah.
this is gonna be nuts.
He's had
Bro.
lukewarm reviews.
Bro.
He's gonna lose his shit.
He's on the edge right now.
Yeah, like I don't want like tuberculosis from the guy, but like so we'll probably stop drinking and sharing beers with him right before that.
right.
Is that how
Because
tuberculosis
how-
works?
No, I don't think you can catch tuberculosis. Can you catch
But
tuberculosis?
yeah, it's one of the most contagious
Yeah.
diseases.
It's a
I
lung
thought
disease.
Wyatt Earp and his friend.
No, it's literally
Doc
from-
Holliday.
You're
It's
talking
lit-
about a movie, though.
No, it's literally from like saliva and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
That's how it was shared back. That's actually something back in
That's
the
why you would get TB tests if you handle food.
people can cough on you.
Oh.
It's saliva and bodily fluids essentially.
Shit.
It's like COVID before it was cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
fuck COVID. Ruined our lives.
But back then they called it consumption instead of tuberculosis.
That's right.
And in New England, in the 1800s, like almost 1900s, there were enough people that weren't positive of what it is because it was taking out families. And there's one dude that the doctor's like, well, it must be that your wife's a vampire and just coming back and killing all your family. So he dug up the body and burned his wife because the doctor told him that his wife's a vampire.
Well, she was
His
dead.
kids kept dying.
She was dead though.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
you
mean,
never know.
So wait.
He was like, cocaine didn't work.
Could be a
You're
vampire.
red pilling me here on tuberculosis. It's shared. You give it to somebody by drinking the same beverage.
Or coughing near them.
Yeah.
Really?
That's why
It's
what
particulates in your
yeah,
saliva
basically what it is,
become
it's
airborne.
eating away at your lungs.
Yeah.
And that's why people cough up blood when they have
Fuck.
tuberculosis.
And there's no cure
I don't think so.
I'm pretty sure now we
now
got it
there
under
probably
control.
is, yeah.
with the vaccines.
don't talk
No,
about
not
that.
vaccines.
Don't talk about that.
I'm pretty sure it's just like antibiotics or
Oh, yeah.
antivirals.
Yeah.
A pint of the consumption. Like,
Did you ever,
Something over the counter.
did you ever see the show Shameless?
no.
You've never seen Shameless?
No.
I think you'd really like Frank.
I hate you.
He has, but he's not going to admit it.
He's not baiting you.
In one of the later seasons, he ends up in a contest for it's like Hobo Vodka or something like that. That's like the name of the brand, and they get all the homeless people to who can be like Hobo Man, and they're like one of the contest portions is see who can get through the ER the fastest, and like one of the most like popular
Jesus
Chicago
Christ.
one. So he fakes tuberculosis, like he's coughing up blood, and like it ends up being like a whole pandemic in downtown Chicago.
Jesus Christ. I'm
That's
going to use the bathroom.
dark.
Well, why don't we just wrap it up quick then?
We can wrap it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Damaged by you, damaged by me. I'm confused, don't wanna be confused.
Than they do normal Panera Bread chips anyway.
Well, if they were yours, I would steal them.
They're not.